Welcome to The Explainer. We're about to dive into a massive shift in technology, something that's going to change how everything is built and used. It's all based on a really eye-opening conversation with the CEO of Box. And trust me, this future is coming way, way faster than you think. So, just try to picture this for a second. A world where there aren't just a few AI helpers, but 100 or even 1,000 times more AI agents than actual human workers. All of them working, buying things, and building new stuff all at the same time.
I mean, what does happen when the main user of all our software isn't a person anymore, but an agent? This isn't some far-off sci-fi idea. This is the next huge paradigm shift, and it's creating this incredible conflict between where we're obviously heading and where we are right now. So let's break down what that future really looks like and why, frankly, we are not ready for it.
Okay, first things first. We have to really get our heads around the core idea here. The future of, well, everything. The internet, big companies, you name it. It's not about making prettier buttons for us humans to click. It's about building brutally efficient interfaces for these agents to use.
Think about it. When you have that many agents running around, the sheer volume and speed of it all is going to demand a total redesign of software as we know it. We're talking about a move away from clickable menus designed for human hands and eyes to a world built on APIs and command lines, all designed for machine logic and, warp speed.
And look, we're not just talking about some dumb chatbot following a script. The real kicker here is the level of sophistication. These agents are becoming strategic. They can look at a problem and choose the absolute best way to tackle it. Should it use a tool that's already there? Should it just issue a direct command? Or, you know what, maybe it's faster to just write brand new code to solve the problem from scratch. That's the level we're talking about. But, and this is a big but, this super logical, totally inevitable future is about to crash head-on into two massive walls of resistance, us and the companies we work for.
So, the first wall? It's the human bottleneck. Think about how you'd explain making a cup of coffee. You'd break it down into steps, right? Grind the beans, heat the water, pour the water, wait a bit. That's algorithmic thinking. Now, if you can't describe your own job with that same kind of logical flowchart, how in the world are you going to command an army of AI agents to do it for you? This isn't really a tech problem. It's a thinking problem, and it's a skill that most of us just haven't been taught.
The second wall is the enterprise wall of just pure fear. And this quote, it just perfectly captures the gut reaction from business leaders. When this idea of autonomous agents running loose on their most critical systems was brought up to a room full of CIOs and CFOs, this was the response. Not excitement, just disbelief and "you're crazy." And you know what? Their fear isn't crazy at all. I mean, imagine an agent that misunderstands a command and gets stuck in a loop, just creating infinite folders until it crashes the entire system. Or worse, what if it accidentally deletes the wrong file or leaks your company's secret M&A plans? These are the kinds of nightmares that are keeping executives up at night.
So this huge conflict between what's possible and what people are afraid of, it's creating this great divide. It's splitting the business world into two camps, and they are moving at completely different speeds.
On one side, you've got the startups. They don't have any old, clunky systems to worry about. They can build their whole company around this agent-first idea from the very beginning. But on the other side, you have the big enterprises. And they're trapped. They are just terrified of letting these agents touch the fragile, complicated systems that run their entire global operation. This right here, this is the new competitive fault line.
So here's the crucial moment. This collision course is going to force a whole new reality. Software companies that want to stick around are going to have to play by a completely new set of rules. Let's dig into what that new software world actually looks like.
It's just not enough anymore to build something that people want. The new guiding star for making products has to be creating tools that agents, the AIs themselves, find efficient, reliable, and powerful. The agent is now the target user.
And this is the ultimate power shift. For decades, the CIO, the Chief Information Officer, decided what tech a company used. In the future, the agent will. If a company's old HR system is too slow or too clunky for an agent to work with, that agent's performance is going to suffer. And eventually, the agent itself is going to be the thing that forces the change, basically telling the company, hey, you need to upgrade your tools if you want to keep up.
So what does that even mean to build a product that an agent wants? You have to forget everything that we value as human users. Pretty interfaces, easy-to-use design. Agents play by a completely different set of rules.
Agents can see right past the fancy marketing and shiny buttons. They can analyze the code underneath, and they will choose what to use based on pure performance. How much does it cost, how reliable is it, and how well is the back end built? They'll have the collective memory of thousands of previous tasks to know which platform is truly the best. This forces a kind of brutal meritocracy where only the most efficient tech is going to win.
And that brings us to the final and maybe the most misunderstood piece of this whole puzzle: the true economic scale of this agent-driven revolution.
Right now, all the financial models are trying to squeeze this massive change into our old world budgets. They're looking at AI as just another tool to make humans a little more efficient. And in doing that, they're not just missing the point. They are missing it by a factor of at least 10. They're off by an order of magnitude. And, we've seen this exact same pattern of thinking before. With personal computers, the experts saw a limited market for the machines themselves, and they completely missed the multi-trillion-dollar software industry that would get built on top. With the cloud, they just saw it as replacing servers in a closet, and they failed to predict the thousand-fold explosion in demand for computing power once it became easy to access. We are making that exact same mistake right now with agents.
And here's why. Agents create entirely new markets. They get rid of what we call transaction friction. You or I would never bother with a 5-cent microtransaction just to access one tiny piece of data, but an agent, it'll do that 1,000,000 times a day without even blinking. And this unlocks a massive amount of value from information and tools that were just sitting there, unused, creating whole new business models out of thin air.
So you see, this isn't just about new technology. It's a fundamental rethink of what a company even is. And it leaves us with a pretty provocative final question to chew on. What happens when your most valuable assets are no longer the people you employ, but the agents you deploy? Think about that for a second as we get ready to wrap things up.
Okay, that was a ton of information, so let's do a super fast, high-density recap. 1. We're moving to a world with up to 1,000 times more agents than people, so software has to be built for them, not us. 2. This is hitting two major walls: our own inability to think like a computer and big companies being terrified of breaking their old systems. 3. This creates a two-speed world where startups built for agents are going to crush the old guard. 4. A whole new software stack is coming where agents, not people, will pick the winners based on pure performance. And 5. The economic opportunity is a lot bigger than anyone thinks because agents create new markets through tiny, frictionless payments. So what's the one big takeaway today? It's this: the AI revolution isn't really about better apps for humans. It's about building an entirely new automated economy for autonomous agents. Now for today's debate, this enterprise wall of fear, is it a smart defense against total chaos, or is it basically a death sentence in this new agent-driven world? Are these CIOs being smart and careful, or are they guaranteeing they get left in the dust? I want to know what you think. Drop your take in the comments.
And hey, if you want to go even deeper on this, just leave a comment below and you'll get a link to a complete mind map that breaks down every key concept from this explainer. Thanks for watching.